But first, our top focus tonight. A nationwide 24-hour strike called by 11 major trade unions today evoked a mixed response. There were disruptions in public sector banks, transport services as well. The unions, cutting across party lines, say that they are unhappy with the government's economic policies. In Bengal, Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee, who had declared her own calls for strikes in the past were a mistake, personally monitored the situation and tried to ensure that the bandh was not effective. But in Bengal as well, there was a mixed response.
On a normal day, this prepaid auto booth at the New Delhi railway station would be full of passengers waiting in a line to board auto rickshaws to go to their destinations after arriving here early in the morning. Today though, you can see the only people who are hanging around are those who are wondering how they will get to their destinations, which is because there are no autos or no taxis here plying because of a strike that's been called.
This was a nearly 40-minute chakka jam at the busy ITO intersection at central Delhi. Part of it, protester Madan Lal, who fears for his job.
पर्सनली आपसे जानना चाहूंगा आपका क्या मुद्दा है, आप ऐसे चक्का जाम का कार्ड क्यों बने आज?
हमारी कंपनी बंद कर रखी है इन लोगों ने और हम चाहते हैं कि हमारी कंपनी संघर्ष जारी रहेगा और हमारे जो है सरकार के खिलाफ जो है विरोध प्रदर्शन हम करते रहेंगे.
Absolute lack of activity here at the heart of Bangalore city, the cantonment railway station, which on a normal day would have otherwise been flooded with auto rickshaws.
1 रुपये ज्यादा या 20 रुपीस के अंदर बाहर कुछ बढ़ाना चाहते हैं.
अभी प्रेजेंट कितने
17 है.
आप क्यों क्या कितना मिलना चाहिए? 20 रुपया.
20 रुपया बना.
3 रुपया बढ़ाना.
What are your key demands?
Our demands are synchronizing with the central trade unions' demand of job losses and the dilution of the government capital in the public sector organizations.
The other unions like the auto and the taxi unions, they are not participating. They are saying that the 12th standard board exams are underway and that's the reason why they are not participating in this strike.
And here in Bhopal, you can see hundreds of government bank employees today are on the streets with placards with the flags of their trade unions.
खंडेलवाल कमेटी का हम अपोज कर रहे हैं. खंडेलवाल कमेटी की रिकमेंडेशन लागू नहीं होनी चाहिए, निजीकरण नहीं होना चाहिए, सरकारी बैंकों का विलय का प्रस्ताव नहीं होने चाहिए, सभी को बोनस और ग्रेचुइटी की सीमा बढ़ाई जानी चाहिए.
Today, about 75% of them stayed off the roads. Across India, the protests have registered. Life hit only somewhat. Standing at the two ends of the spectrum, West Bengal and Kerala. In Kerala, life virtually stopped. Public transport off roads, shops, schools, banks and government services firmly shut.
The government policy at present pursued by the government of India is destined to privatize the public sector banks, and more than that, they also intend to sell the shares of the public sector banks to the foreign multinational capitals.
Contrast this with West Bengal, where strong arm tactics of Mamta Banerjee kept 98% of government offices open.
আজকে যে আপনারা দেখেছেন এই প্রথম ইতিহাসে 34 বছর পর যে একটা বন্ধ ব্যর্থ করে সরকারি কর্মচারীরা অফিসাররা কাজে এসেছে, এটা একটা ঐতিহাসিক বৈপ্লবিক সিদ্ধান্ত.
Ironically, the private sector, schools, offices, markets remain shut in apprehension. Yet this is a very different picture of a bandh in the state.
Few years ago, a bandh in Kolkata would have meant a complete shutdown. That, however, is not the case today. Vehicles are moving. There are government buses on the road, auto rickshaws on the road. Some private vehicles are also seen.
No loud big protests, no violence, no burning buses. In fact, most of them were plying in peace, but there were no takers. Bureau Report, NDTV.
And that brings us straight to our first debate tonight as the trade unions call this strike today. Is their cause justified? Tell us what you think. You can tweet us at those addresses there. Joining us on the program tonight is Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, the national spokesperson of the Congress Party. We have Kalyan Banerjee of the Trinamool Congress, who joins us tonight from Kolkata. Also joining us shortly will be Gurudas Dasgupta, who's from the CPI and also heads the All India Trade Union Congress. And this evening we have well-known economist Dr. Surjit Bhalla with us, as well as Kumar Ketkar, a senior journalist and editor who joins us from Mumbai. Let me first ask, Surjit Bhalla. Mr. Bhalla, what do you make of a strike in this day and age in India? It is a legitimate form of protest, but at the end of the day, is there space for this kind of strike when you have essential services being shut down the way that they are in many parts of the country? Do you think that kind of protest works in India today?
Well, you know, it's interesting that the strike has just come 2 days after the artist won an award. And the artist, as we know, is a silent movie. So it harks back to about 100 years. The movies are going back 100 years, and so are we. Really, I try to look at how strikes are practiced in various parts of the world, and there's precious little information. One interesting, if you will, story that came out was the threat of a recent strike in China by the taxi drivers, and it turned out that the government met these potential strikers, hammered out a deal, and that was the end of that story. Then there's another story in the US where, if you will, states are trying to encourage investment in their localities and are saying that, listen, non-union workers can now work. So you don't have to join a union in order to work at a factory, etc., in several states of the US. So this is, if you will, globalization. This is competition for jobs. And, you know, this idea that we will have a bandh is very, very old, anachronistic, and it hurts the state in question.
The NDTV News app had redefined the entire genre. Now, another market beater. It's already hit #1.
NDTV Profit, India's #1 finance app. Download free at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Live stream of NDTV Profit, market news, and your easy-to-manage portfolio. Download now, ndtvprofit.com/apps.